Hey y'all, so I wanted to give you all a closer look at my budget for the month of March. I have not physically budgeted in a few months, and so I really needed to pretty much start over. I needed to start from scratch, so to speak. And so the first thing that I did was I listed out all of my expenses and my bills. And so this section of this planner allowed me to do that. I listed out all of my expenses, the amounts that were due, and then the due dates that they were due on. As you can see, some of these spaces are empty because they are revolving amounts, and so there is no set amount for my credit cards, but there are due dates. And so I was able to put the due date for one of my credit cards, or for a couple of my credit cards, and I need to go back and fill in the rest. But I just, getting started was most important to me. So I'll fill that in later. Now, there are some other spaces that have both the amount and the due date because, of course, these are my monthly bills that have pretty much a set amount and a set due date. And so I went ahead and did that because this will allow me to refer back to when I'm doing my monthly bills or my monthly budget, and make sure that I'm not missing anything and that I'm paying everything on time. And so that was the first thing that I went ahead and did, as you can see. And so even if and so what I also did here, like I listed out my food and my gas, because again, that's just like an expense that I have to budget for, that I don't want to forget about. My nails, toiletries, my hair, things like that. So not only did I list out all of my bills and expenses, but just things that I don't want to forget as well. So that's what I kept in mind when I started with this budget for the month. So then the next thing I did was, let's go ahead and head over to March. So I went over to March and I referred, well, let me start over. So I went to the March calendar, and so let me scroll out some. So I wanted to go ahead and, let's see. I wanted to go ahead and map out all of my due dates. And so what I did was I just like flipped back and forth between my bills and expenses list and this calendar. So I did that until I filled in pretty much like all of these due dates. And so I also ended up putting like my paydays here. This will allow me to see, okay, during this pay period, this is what's being paid. During this pay period, this is what's being paid. And then during this pay period, this is, what's being paid, right? So the first pay period, here we got my Torrid credit card, small PDF subscription, phone and iPad. And then we have life insurance that's coming out, and also Netflix that's coming out on the 6th. So that's something that I need to account for this first paycheck that comes out. So this was really helpful. And the next thing I did was I went over to this section. So this was me like entering into my actual budgeting for the month of March. And so I listed out all of my paychecks, the days that I should receive them, the expected amounts, and then I already know what my first amount is going to be, so I put the actual amount there. And then I listed out my events, my goals, and my other tasks. For me, I wanted to make note of that my son will be on spring break the first week of April, and then I want to do a couple of brunch dates this month, so I wanted to just kind of keep that as a mental note, so that when I do my actual budget, I can go ahead and try to budget out for that. For my goals, I want to create my budget, be present and active. And so at the end of the month, if this is something that I've done, I'll be able to check that off. I want to cook more, eat out less, pay off my Torrid credit card on time. So this will be my first time paying off this credit card, and I want to make sure I do it on time because I'm a big procrastinator. And so yeah, I'll look at that bill and the due date for as long as I can, up until the last very minute. Okay, and so that's one of my goals. And then also I want to maintain my hair until April. I don't want to get my hair done, so well, I don't want to get my hair done in March. I want to get it done in April, and so that's just one of my goals. I know it's not like a really huge life-changing goal or anything like that, but hey, a goal is a goal. Okay, a win is a win. After that, I have my other tasks. So I want to get my car wash. I also have a subscription that may have ended at the car wash. I'm not sure. I did cancel it, but I think I may have canceled it too late, and so it might come out in March. So I want to keep that in mind. Therapy. I do have a therapy appointment this month, so I want to keep that in mind. And then my car. I need to put my car in the shop, but they're gonna take forever trying to get me my car back, so I'm not trying to do that. But I still want to put that right there, just so I can feel better about my life and know that I have added it to the task list. Okay, and I also have a low tire alert on my dashboard, so I need to get that looked at. And so I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm probably not going to do that or that, but I want to keep it in mind. Okay, don't judge me. All right, so moving on. After that, I went ahead and took all of my expenses and categorized them. And so this allowed me to basically just see, or just organize my money, really, organize my expenses and the bills that are due and their due dates. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And so you can see here, the way I created this planner was I have preset sections or categories. So you got your fixed expenses, variable expenses, your subscriptions, vacation and travel, savings, self-care, household miscellaneous. But then I also left some spaces open for me to be able to just kind of like add in. And so I needed some extra space for my subscriptions. And so I added that as a category. My sinking funds, I decided that I kind of want to do some sinking funds this month with my extra monies. And so then my credit cards and fun, and then my son, he has his own category. And so I kind of go in this order. Like when I'm planning out my money, I go in the order of importance. So I start at my fixed expenses, like things that have to be paid, like no ifs, ands, buts about it. If it's the only thing I do this month is pay these things, this has to be paid. Next is my variable expenses. These are things that don't have a set amount, but they also too need to be paid. And then my subscriptions. I have a lot of subscriptions. And so this is one of them things that, like, it proves that budgeting is not just about telling your money what to do or not spending a whole lot of money. Like, you realize how much money, like, what's going on in your life. What are you doing? Like, I have a DoorDash pass. I mean, I know I have that, but like, I actually have a DoorDash pass. I have to pay $10 for it. So I don't know if I want to stick to that, but we gonna, yeah. And then YouTube cannot go, but it's expensive as hell. $22.99. Like, are you serious? And then Microsoft. So I've been paying this for a couple of months now, and I had no idea what that was, y'all. Turns out that it was actually a subscription for like this Xbox that we have or whatever. I don't know. It's for my son. I think I might cancel that because it's just like, what the hell? I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but whatever. So then, also here, okay, so my savings, my Ally auto withdrawal. So this is something I'm really proud of. I'm happy about, because $700 a month, I could save that. Really? Well, really $1,000 a month, because I want to put $300 towards my apartment. And so yeah, it's just like, that's great. But yeah, so this is what I did. Planned out all of my bills for the month, and told my money where to go, and it all worked out. Now, the next thing we have is this what are you feeling section. So typically, had I budgeted for the month of February, I would have, I would, so typically had I budgeted for the month of February, I would have filled this out, but I did not, so I have nothing to reflect on. I mean, I guess I could, but so then we have, what are you feeling? So this right here is just my feelings wheel, and this section is where I just wrote out how I was feeling about my budget, and I ain't afraid, y'all can read it, you know what I'm saying, y'all can read it. But yeah, this is what I do to budget my money. And so as I'm like filling out my expense tracker, I'll go here to what am I feeling, or what are you feeling, and then I'll fill out, you know, I'll be able to journal. And it's so much space that, like, yeah, I'm good on that. So that is how I have budgeted for the month of March. I haven't budgeted in a while, so this was very refreshing, and I feel good. I feel like the bad bitch that I am, I'm just that girl. Like, what more is there to say? But yes, you all, thank you so much for watching, listening, however you want to call it. I hope you have a great day and you feel encouraged to budget. If you have not budgeted in a while, it's okay. Like, it's all right. Life still goes on. Just get up and try again.